I noticed her birthmark was missing on vacation. When I got home, it was back. That's when I knew something was deeply, deeply wrong. My name is Adrian Castellano. I'm 31 years old. I live in Seattle now, under a name that isn't mine, in an apartment with locks I check 3 times before bed. This is the story of why. I met Natalie Harrington 2.5 years ago at a friend's gallery opening in Portland. She was standing in front of a painting, tilting her head like she was trying to decode it. I made some stupid joke about modern art being expensive nonsense. She laughed. We talked for 3 hours. She was 28, marketing coordinator for a tech startup. Smart, funny, had this way of making everything feel lighter. We started dating a week later. The first year was perfect. That's the word everyone uses, right? Perfect. Like that should have been a warning sign. Natalie worked close to home. Her office was a 15-minute walk from her apartment in the Pearl District. I worked downtown as a structural engineer, long hours, sometimes 60-hour weeks when we had active projects. She understood, never complained when I worked late, never made me feel guilty. "I'm just glad you come home to me," she'd say. We moved in together after a year. My place, bigger, closer to my office. She kept her apartment as a studio space. She painted sometimes, needed the creative outlet. That should have been my first question. Why keep a second apartment when we lived together? But I didn't ask, I trusted her. It started small, about 6 months ago. Little things I couldn't quite pin down. One morning I made coffee the way she liked it, 2 sugars, splash of oat milk. She took a sip and made a face. "Too sweet." "Since when?" "I don't know, tastes changed, I guess." "Okay, fine, people's tastes change." Then she forgot our anniversary date. Not the day, she knew it was coming, but she thought it was the 15th when it was actually the 12th. We'd celebrated on the 12th for 2 years running. "I'm so sorry, I don't know why I thought that." Again, fine, memory slip happens. But then there were bigger things. She'd reference conversations we never had. Like I said last Tuesday. "We didn't talk last Tuesday. You were at that work retreat." Right, I meant Thursday. Sorry, long week." She'd forget inside jokes, little things that had been our asterisk things, the stupid voice I did when imitating her boss, the nickname I'd called her since month 2. She'd look at me blankly when I used it. "Why'd you stop calling me that?" "Stop calling you what?" "Nat, you always call me Nat." "I do." "You did, you haven't in weeks." She laughed it off. "Guess I've been formal lately." I chalked it up to stress. Her startup was going through funding rounds. I was on a brutal project deadline. We were both stretched thin. But it kept happening. 3 months ago, I took a week off. Rare for me. My project wrapped early and I'd been promising Natalie a real vacation. No laptops, no phones, just us. We drove to the coast, rented a cabin in Cannon Beach. It was supposed to be romantic. It was wrong. I can't explain it better than that. Something was asterisk wrong. The first night we were intimate and it felt different. Not bad, just different. The way she touched me, the rhythm, the sound she made, all slightly off like a song played in a different key. I told myself I was overthinking it. We'd been together for over 2 years. Maybe we were just settling into a new phase. But then I noticed the birthmark. Natalie has a small birthmark on her left shoulder blade. 1/4 inch, slightly raised, shaped like a comma. I've kissed it 100 times. In the shower the next morning, I glanced at her back. The birthmark wasn't there. I froze, stared, convinced myself it was the angle, the lighting. "You okay?" she asked, turning around. Yeah, just thought I saw something." But I didn't see it the next day either, or the day after that. By day 4, I was going insane. I kept looking for it, it wasn't there. On the drive home, I casually said, Remember when you burned your shoulder on that camping trip? She looked confused. What camping trip? 2 years ago. You backed into the grill, got that little burn on your shoulder blade. Natalie never went on that trip, but Nat asterisk, my Nat, the woman I started dating, did. She told me about it on our second date, showed me the tiny scar. I don't know what you're talking about, she said. I've never been camping. You told me. I think you're mixing me up with someone else, babe, she laughed. I didn't. I became obsessed. I started documenting things, little inconsistencies. She forgot the name of the restaurant where we had our first date. She got it wrong by one letter, close, but wrong. She wore her watch on her right wrist one day. She'd always worn it on her left. She ordered salmon at dinner. Natalie was allergic to salmon. I'd watched her have a reaction once, hives, swelling, EpiPen. It was terrifying. But this woman ate salmon and was fine. Since when can you eat salmon? What do you mean? You're allergic. She laughed. No, I'm not. I eat it all the time. Natalie, you had an allergic reaction last year. I drove you to the ER. She looked at me like I was crazy. That wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. That night while she slept, I looked at her shoulder again. The birthmark was back. I was losing my mind. I knew I was, but I also knew something was deeply, fundamentally wrong. I called my friend Marcus. We'd gone to college together. He was a lawyer now, family law mostly. We met for drinks. I told him everything. He listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, he was quiet for a long time. You think she's cheating? I don't know, maybe, but it's not just that. It's like she's two different people. Marcus leaned back. Okay, I'm going to suggest something and you're going to think I'm insane, but hear me out. What? Hire a private investigator. For what? To follow her, document her movements, see if there's something you're missing. That feels invasive, yeah, but you're either right and something's happening or you're wrong and you need proof of that so you can stop spiraling. Either way, you need to know. I hired the PI the next day. The PI's name was Rachel Kovac, former cop, now private. She was blunt. What am I looking for? I don't know, just watch her. Tell me if anything seems off. Rachel followed Natalie for 2 weeks. Then she called me. We need to meet in person. We met at a diner on the east side. Rachel slid a folder across the table. You're going to want to sit down for this. I was already sitting. She opened the folder. Inside, photos. Natalie leaving our apartment at 8 a.m. Natalie entering her studio apartment at 8:30 a.m. Then at 9 a.m., asterisk a different woman asterisk leaving that same apartment. Identical, same height, same build, same hair. What the fuck, I whispered. Rachel flipped to the next photo. The second woman going to a coffee shop, meeting someone for lunch, going to asterisk our asterisk apartment at 3 p.m. while Natalie was still at work. They're switching, Rachel said, taking turns. Who is she? Rachel slid another document across. Birth certificate, Natalie Harrington, born March 14, 1995, Portland, Oregon, parents, Michael and Diane Harrington. She slid another one. Birth certificate, Nora asterisk Harrington, born March 14, 1995, Portland, Oregon, parents, Michael and Diane Harrington. Twins. Identical twins. They've been taking turns being your girlfriend. I thought I was going to throw up. I went through everything. Photos from the beginning of our relationship. I could see it now, tiny differences. One wore the watch on the left, one on the right. One had the birthmark, one didn't. I'd been dating both asterisk of them for 2.5 years. And I never knew. Text messages, different typing patterns. One used more emojis, one was more formal. Our intimate moments. Jesus Christ, our asterisk intimate moments. I'd slept with both of them multiple times and I didn't know. I went to the bathroom and vomited. I waited until Natalie, or whoever she was, came home that night. "We need to talk." She smiled. "Sure, what's up?" I put the folder on the table. "I know about Nora." Her smile disappeared. "I know you're twins. I know you've been switching. I know everything." She didn't deny it, just stood there. "How long have you known?" 2 weeks. "And you didn't say anything." "I wanted to understand first, so here's your chance. Explain." She sat down slowly. "Can I call Nora?" "She's here." "She's at the studio. I'll ask her to come." 20 minutes later, there were two of them sitting on my couch. Identical mirror images. I couldn't tell them apart. "Which one of you is Natalie?" The one on the left raised her hand slightly. I looked at the one on the right. "Nora." She nodded. "Explain now." Natalie spoke first. "We didn't plan it, not at the beginning." "Then what?" "I met you at the gallery. We started dating. It was real, everything was real." "And?" "Nora and I are close. We've always been close. We tell each other everything. I told her about you, how happy I was, how much I liked you." Nora picked up the thread. "And I was jealous, not in a bad way, just, we've shared everything our whole lives. I wanted to meet you, see what made you special." "So you pretended to be her?" "Just once. Natalie had a work event out of town. I covered for her, had dinner with you." My stomach turned. "When?" 8 months into your relationship." "And I didn't notice." "No." "And then?" "Natalie, and then it kept happening. We'd switch sometimes. Nora would take a date, I'd take one. It became a thing." "A asterisk thing." I stood up. "You're talking about this like it's a game." "It's not a game," Nora said quietly. "We both love you." I stared at her. "What?" "We both love you. I fell in love with you too. I know that sounds insane, but it's true." "So what, you thought you'd just share me forever?" "Natalie, we didn't know what else to do. We couldn't both be with you, but we both wanted to be." "So you lied for over a year. You manipulated me. You, Jesus Christ, I slept with both of you. Did you think about that? How completely fucked up that is." "Nora, we knew you'd react like this." "React like this?" I was yelling now. "You violated my consent, both of you. Every time you switched, I didn't know. I couldn't consent to something I didn't know was happening." Silence. "Who else knows?" Natalie looked down. "Our parents." "Your asterisk parents know." "They've known the whole time." "And your friends?" "Some of them." "Who?" "Megan, Josh, a few others." "So everyone knew except me?" No one answered. I was the only one who didn't know I was dating two people. Still nothing. I walked to the door, opened it. "Get out." "Adrian." "Get out." They left. The next day, I went to their parents' house. Michael answered the door, saw my face. "You know." "Yes, I know." He let me in. Diane was in the kitchen. She looked guilty. "Why?" I asked. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Michael, it wasn't our place. They're your daughters. You watched them manipulate me for over a year, and you said nothing." "Diane, they love you, both of them. We thought they'd figure it out." "Figure it out? They're not figuring anything out. They're both delusional, and you enabled it." "Michael, they've always been close. Too close, maybe. They struggle with separation since they were kids." "That's not my problem." "Diane, Adrian, please, they're fragile if you leave." "Fragile? They're 30 years old. They orchestrated a long-term deception that involved multiple people. That's not fragile. That's calculated." I stood up. "I'm leaving. Don't contact me. Tell your daughters not to contact me. If they do, I'll file a police report. They didn't listen. The text started immediately. Natalie, please can we talk? Nora, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Both, we love you. I blocked both numbers. They showed up at my apartment. I didn't answer. They showed up at my office. Security escorted them out. I saw them everywhere: coffee shop, grocery store, gym. At first, I thought it was coincidence. Then I realized they were following me. I'd see one of them in the morning, then the other in the afternoon, rotating, watching. I couldn't tell them apart. That was the worst part. Every woman with long, dark hair made me freeze. Every time I saw someone who looked like them, my heart stopped. I wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating. I was jumping at shadows. I filed for a restraining order against both of them. The hearing was brief. Judge, why are you requesting this? Me, they're stalking me, following me, showing up at my home and workplace despite being asked to stop. Judge, and your relationship with them? I was dating one of them, I thought. Turns out I was dating both. They're twins. They were taking turns pretending to be one person. I ended it when I found out. They won't leave me alone. The judge's eyebrows went up. She looked at Natalie and Nora sitting in the back. Is this accurate? They nodded. And you've been asked to stop contacting the petitioner? Yes, but... There's no but. Order granted. You're to stay 100 yards away from Mr. Castellano at all times. No contact directly or through third parties. Violation will result in arrest. The gavel came down. The restraining order didn't stop them. I'd still see them from a distance, just watching. Standing across the street from my apartment. In the parking lot at work. At the grocery store, one aisle over. Technically 100 yards away, technically legal. But always there. I couldn't live like that. I quit my job, gave 2 weeks' notice, cited family emergency. Broke my lease, paid the penalty. Packed everything I owned. And I left. I moved to Seattle, 3 hours north, different city, different life. Got a new job at a smaller firm. Used a variation of my name, Adrian Casello instead of Castellano. Not illegal, just different enough. New phone number, new email, deleted all social media. I told no one where I went, not even Marcus. I disappeared. It's been 8 months. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Ballard. I work. I go to therapy. I go home. I don't date. Can't imagine dating. How do you trust anyone after that? Every woman I meet, I wonder, is she real? Is she telling me the truth? Is there a twin I don't know about? I check my locks 3 times every night. I look over my shoulder constantly. I see them everywhere, even though they're not here. Logically, I know they're not, but my brain doesn't care. Last week, I saw a woman at the coffee shop who looked like them. Same hair, same build. I had a panic attack. Full-blown, couldn't breathe, had to leave. My therapist says it's PTSD, that I experienced a profound violation of trust and consent, that it's going to take time. Time? How much time does it take to trust reality again? Yesterday, I got a letter. No return address, postmarked from Portland. I almost threw it away without opening it. But I opened it. Inside, a handwritten note. Adrian asterisk. We know you don't want to hear from us. We're respecting the restraining order. We haven't followed you. We don't know where you are. But we need you to know asterisk. We loved you, both of us, really loved you. What we did was wrong. We know that now. We were selfish and delusional, and we hurt you in ways we can't undo. We're in therapy, both of us, separately and together. We're trying to understand why we did what we did, why we thought it was okay. Our therapist says we have codependency issues, that we struggle with individual identity, that we used you to avoid dealing with our own problems. None of that excuses it. Nothing excuses it. We just wanted you to know we're sorry. We're so, so sorry. You deserved better. We hope you're okay. N and N. I read it 3 times. Then I burned it. People ask me sometimes, the few people who know, if I ever think about them. The answer is yes. I think about them every day. Not because I miss them, but because I can't stop. I think about the moments that were real and the moments that weren't. I think about the nights I held Natalie, or was it Nora, and told her I loved her. Which one was I talking to? Did it matter? I think about the life I thought I was building, the future I imagined, marriage, kids, growing old together. All of it was built on a lie. I think about their parents, their friends, all the people who knew and said nothing. How many times did I talk to Megan about Natalie, while Megan knew it was sometimes Nora? How many dinners did I have with their parents, while they watched their daughters manipulate me? I think about the birthmark, the coffee order, the tiny inconsistencies I dismissed because I trusted her. Them, I don't even know what pronoun to use. Here's what I know now. I will never trust anyone completely again. I will never stop looking over my shoulder. I will never stop wondering if the person I'm talking to is who they say they are. They didn't just break my heart, they broke something fundamental, my ability to believe in reality. And that's not something therapy can fix. Last night I had a dream. I was back in Portland in our apartment. Natalie was there, or Nora, I couldn't tell. She was smiling. "I missed you," she said. "Which one are you?" I asked. She tilted her head. "Does it matter?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because I need to know who I'm talking to." She walked closer, put her hand on my chest. "You're talking to me." "But who?" I woke up. Alone. In my Seattle apartment. Checked the locks. All 3 times. My name is Adrian Casello. I'm 31 years old. I live in Seattle now, under a name that isn't quite mine. And I will never, ever let anyone that close again. Because the worst part isn't that they lied. The worst part is that I still don't know which one I fell in love with. Or if I fell in love with both. Or if any of it was real at all.